Hey, Talk Shop ladies. Good morning from where I'm filming right now. I was driving this morning, and what a perfect time to pull in and have a nice little car conversation where it feels very much more intimate for some reason sometimes in the car. So the topic of today is your energy, the energy of your heart. A lot of the words that I use to me or the world, they're very interchangeable and they're very similar. Like when someone says the motives, your vibe, your energy, the substance, the aroma, to me, it's all the same. What's really coming out of your heart? What's really, like that substance? Because on the outside, and this is what Jesus really exposed a lot, we can act and be and fool even things on the outside, but what's on the inside, right? Jesus talked about, oh, you whitewashed tombs, to the Pharisees, you guys are like so pretty and perfect looking on the outside, but in the inside you guys are dead, literally decayed, right? Nothing's good within. So this is, as we kind of think about like Jesus and love and all these deeper things, not just like the actions on the outside, because we all know this. You could be a perfect little wife on the outside, and we have plenty of women who are just so miserable if they can even tap into that. A lot of them have abandoned themselves, abandoned their needs, don't even know what it feels like to take care of themselves. I saw a woman post something, and she said, you can't even really truly serve and care after other people if you can't do that with yourself. Okay, if you abandon yourself constantly, your emotions, then you're serving out of depletion. And as the feminine, and we can all track this. I know when I'm giving out of nothing because I have to give something, versus I'm giving out of my abundance. Like I've had times with like I've tracked this, like even with my own husband, like at what point am I, oh, I have to do this and I do this because I have to do this and I'm so tired and I'm not tuned into my heart and I didn't ask for help, and then I'm like, what am I even giving this out of? Like all of a sudden I'm checked out, or I'm grumbling, or I'm just like in survival mode, versus when I sit down and get present, and maybe I just need to reconnect with my husband for like 2 minutes, say how you doing, and he says something, or we do something together, or I just get a hug, or I don't know, just, something. And all of a sudden, I feel like I have so much in me. I'm nourished all of a sudden. And out of whatever was deposited in me, I take that and I multiply. And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I want to like go make lunch for you or whatever, right? Do you see the difference between I have nothing in me? And that's not to say, oh, I took a power nap and now I have energy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally the energy of your heart, when you're just doing, versus like you filled yourself up with something, and out of that deposit, then you multiply your devotion, what you do. In fact, kind of a side note, not my topic for today, but I even think about like making lunch for my husband, right? The truth is, I don't think there's ever like, you have to do all these things as a wife. I don't believe that. I believe it's about your attitude and what you choose, and you take responsibility for that. So for instance, like, ever since I got married, I started to do lunch for my husband. I don't mind. He's not picky at all. Like, he loves sandwiches. That's not hard at all. And, one time, I'll be honest, ladies, I got frustrated at something. I got mad. And I sat there and debated, should I even make lunch for him for the next day? And there was this nasty part of me that I could acknowledge, like how immature, what a temper tantrum. But at the same time, I was like a little bit confused, if I'm being honest. Like, well, do I even have to make lunch? Do I have to be a slave? Does he even want me to make a lunch because I'm so mad at him about something or whatever was going on? And so now I did it because I have to, because I'm your wife. I mean, he probably would rather not even take a bite into that, literally, right? And I remember I heard a coach talk about the same topic, lunch. By the way, oh gosh, I don't know if I even guys, I'm sorry. I don't even know, like, what did I do with that lunch thing, because it was torturing me, but I got very curious about, like, what am I doing? What's going on? And the truth is, I enjoy making lunch for him, but he's told me many, many times, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Never feel like you have to do lunch for me. babe, I can figure it out. I could stop by, X, Y, and Z during work. Not a big deal. Please don't ever feel like you have to stress yourself out or you have to do all these things for me, because you don't. So it's like nice that my husband has been able to say that. So anytime I get into this energy of like, do I have to do this? Or if I'm busy or things are going on, then that is like something where like he's released me. I don't have to do anything. It's true. I don't have to. He knows that I know it. However, as one of the coaches says, but do you choose to out of devotion for your husband? Not because you have to. Do you see the difference? Because you want to, because it's that feminine side where we're devoted, right? And the reality is that energy makes sense to me. I never have to. I think I've probably in our marriage so far, I don't know, maybe just like a couple times haven't made lunch because didn't get to it, and then he was like, Dave, don't even worry about it, don't stress out, like let's just go lay down and like go to bed. And so I said yes to that. But there are plenty of times where I am tired and I don't want to do it, but then there's a part of me that I dig into my heart, and there is a devotional side to me that I'm like, I want to, I know the weather is going to be so cold tomorrow, and I know that he'll be hungry. I want to give him something to nourish him during his day. It's not I'm the mom and here's my baby and I have to make lunchy for him. We're not doing that. Okay, check your energies. So speaking of energies, this is my topic. When I was dating initially, actually when I wasn't even dating, let's be honest. You guys know my story. I was single forever. Did I have opportunities to be with guys and have something? Yes. It never worked out. Anyway, so when I had a coach, she was the first one who started to really open up the motives of my heart and the energy. And me coming from a church-based, works-based church, and I wouldn't even say we were that like works-based like some churches. It's just like the more I realize like it's all within us. We all have some level of works or religion or whatever like kinks we're trying to like clear out from. But she was telling me like, Elena, you're not gonna get out there and make anyone be attracted to you. You're not gonna bend over backwards trying to get someone's attention. You're not doing any of that. And I'm like, okay, well, like I get it. Like, yes, that makes sense. But then, like, what am I even doing? Like, how do people even me? I don't understand. I could not understand, like, where is that effort or action piece versus, yeah, you being in rest, but not, like, doing nothing. And so when she got me to get on a dating app at first, and mind you, she told me this was your experiment for you to experience yourself, to see how you act, how are you as a woman, who are you attracting. It's like this experiment or experience is going to be completely all about you. It's all about like life mirroring where you're at. Are you able to have fun? Who's drawn to you? It's all going to be data, and we're doing it for you. And don't worry, Elena, we're not on here. You don't have to meet anyone. You don't have to marry one of these guys. And so she positioned me in a way where I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do this for myself. That's awesome. As long as I don't have to marry anyone from there. And she's like, sure, of course. So anyways, this is probably the first time I went into this like feminine experience type of thing. Because again, I was like, feminine? Like, yeah, I can put some lipstick on, like a curl my hair, like totally wear a skirt here and there. And that's that outside stuff we get stuck on. Even this concept of trad wife, anything that's just on the outside. Not saying trad wife is bad, but we're saying anything that if it just stays on the outside but it's not permeated on the inside, then it's not authentic. It has to be within. Because it doesn't even matter if you wear a skirt or pants. We all know women who could just bring off such a feminine essence even in their pants, and then we all know women who can be wearing skirts and there's just such a closed off kind of masculine vibe to them. Anyways, my coach was so big on check your energy. If you have anything in your energy that's not free, that feels like you're trying to manipulate an outcome, that's making you feel like you have to bend your truth and like suppress yourself, anything that's whatever you're trying to get outside of yourself to create something, stop what you're doing. Do not do it. And so here's like a couple ways this showed up. And ladies, whether you're dating, wanting to get out, or you're married, it doesn't matter, right? It's like that lunch thing. It's all about like, what's your heart energy behind that? Because it's not like, by the time we get to these like life situations, we're like, how did we even get here? How did this happen? And it's a series of tiny steps. All of life, all of these tiny steps, every decision, every thought, it creates our life, right? And so my coach said, Yelena, you are going to get out there and create a profile, and you will know what you're attracting based off of what you're putting out. Now, mind you, like whether this is a caveat or not, I had been doing a lot of inner work already. Okay, this was not like all of a sudden I'm on a dating app. Okay, there's a lot of stuff I was being mindful of, like being in my counseling psychology degree. No, I was not perfect, but there's plenty of things I'd been working on for a while. So anyway, she's like, you're going to download whatever app you want. It doesn't matter, because we can all get like hung up. Do I go to this church? Do I do this? Do I go apply to that job? Do I do this? Is it this dating app? And she's like, explore, check it out. Which app do you like? Which one's user friendly? Which one's interesting? Like, get into that. Who cares about that, right? What's important is your energy behind when you log in, when you take a photo, when you post it, what you say. And so here's what it looked like. She's like, Yelena, it was like Labor Day weekend. You're gonna go out and do a photo shoot. And I had never even done a personal photo shoot in my life. Like personal meaning like my friend taking some photos of me, believe it or not, like never. And and she's like, you're gonna go out with your girlfriend and you're just gonna have a fun time. And you're not gonna wear what you should wear. You're gonna wear what makes you feel fun and sexy and playful and cute and like whatever that you want to feel. There is no right, wrong. Wear your outfits, change them up. Where do you want to drive? Do you want to hop out of your car here? You have fun, and you're doing this for you. These are your photos that you get to have. And it's all about the energy. And she's like, and if you at any point feel like this is an assignment that I told you to do, stop it right there and don't do it until you change the energy of your heart, then you can come back. But if you're taking away from the playfulness and now I have to do this because my coach said and just show up and smile and change, no, we're not doing that. It's not an assignment. It's a life experience. And I took my word. First of all, she said no outcome. So I was like, well, I'm not marrying anyone here. I'm doing this for myself. So that was a very nice pivot for me in terms of my perceptions. And then I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have fun. And I invited one of my amazing friends who supported me. And she's like, heck yeah, I'll take a photo shoot out of you, And she came over and we had fun. 2 girls. I picked some cute outfits. And then we drove to a certain field that was so beautiful and the sun was setting, and we both discovered a new place, which later my friend actually brought her family to that spot for a fall photo shoot. Like, I just was like twirling, and I was like, just take Anastasia, take like a bajillion photos and then I'll pick whatever. And like, there was a part of me that was proud. I was like, man, I've never even done these like type of photos before. I really haven't. I was never that girl that's like, take a photo of me. I was not that girl. And so the fact that I was doing this for myself, I was like so proud, right? And we were both reflecting on how much fun we had. And then after that, we came home, and then I had like a couple outfits, and so I picked like one outfit each, my favorite photo. And my coach had to kind of instructed in terms of even how we make the bio. Instead of saying, I'm looking for a man who does this and looks like this and acts like that and da-da-da-da, she's like, nope, you're not doing that. That's, again, you thinking you know how to control things on the outside. You are expressing how you desire to feel or be, or what your current state is. And a man who can feel like he can match that or make that happen, he will be drawn to you. And if he doesn't, he'll bounce for the most part, right? And so I don't even know what my description was. I had something a little bit about things I like to do, like honestly, I don't even remember what I wrote, but one of them was something like, I just love, God, I'm blanking, but something like, I love like having adventures in life, and I love experiencing new things. I know that sounds so vague, but there was definitely this, like, how do you want to feel? And I want to feel, okay, I did not write this on my profile, but like, right, I want to feel like a princess. I want to feel like I'm so adored and I can be taken care of, but I can like go out and be myself and like whatever that meant for me in my bio. I'm totally blanking. But anyways, moving on. And I released it. Okay? And I picked the photos not that looked good, that I was like, "Ooh, I like this photo," right? And I did that. And there were guys that started to, immediately say hi. By the way, I don't know, I think the first app I used, I didn't really like that. And so I moved on to like another app. Like, it's not about these apps and whatnot. But anyways, when Tanner clicked, matched me, I'll say a couple things about this, going back to energy. We're even married now. And the guy that I thought I'd never meet, like I was like, that's not my story. I'm not going to meet anyone online. But when I started to tap into my feelings and how I was showing up, I was very surprised. And even till this day in marriage, right? Even like that lunch story again, it's all about how am I continuing to show up? How do I choose to show up? And so when we matched, and he was even like, whoa, like, are your photos, like, I don't know how he say this, like, are your photos real, or it feels too good to be true, or like, oh, you're so beautiful, just these couple things, right? And I was like, whoa, yeah, like, and I actually was very proud of myself, believe it or not, ladies, because it was a very recent photo, and given this day and age, it wasn't even filtered. Like, we see a lot of girls post very filtered photos. I definitely don't recommend that, because again, if you're going in with this attitude of I need to filter or tweak myself, then what are you going to be attracting? Someone who likes this filtered version of you, literally, right? Physically and literally and energetically. And so I was like, I'm going to, like, this is how I look. Like, I posted photos that were very original of me. And anyways, when Tanner made a couple comments about my photos, even I told my coach later, like, whoa, I have this guy and he made this comment, like, whoa, are these photos real? Are you real? It's beautiful. And she was like, wow, Elena, look how God does that. God will sometimes let you know and mirror a little bit about what you're putting out. So your assignment, quote unquote, was to go out and have fun and be beautiful and have fun. And you have a man that sees that energy besides just your physical beauty, but your energy, and was like, whoa, like, who is this? Like, he can feel you through the energy. And I was like, you're right. Because I knew how intentional I came. And it wasn't like, I need to look really good. We're not doing that. And so, so Tanner started to talk to me. And the one thing I was breaking off of me was being intentional and not like being like, is this the guy? Or, just, I don't know if it's like a Slavic issue, but like, going with the flow and just getting to know guys just for that, and not needing to feel like I have to figure out this is my husband, or if I need to act a certain way because this is my husband, right? Like, that was what I was hardcore shaving off of my life. Just being. I don't need to decide. I don't have to have it figured out. I just need to be and believe that the masculine will decide for me, and then I can filter what I want. And so Tanner had invited me out for a date, and we texted just a little bit, honestly, not even that much. And again, my only job was, even during the text, was be playful and be fun. You're not doing anything to figure out if he's your husband or if he's good enough man. You won't know, right? And that's where a lot of girls get hung up. They think they can really channel and interpret a lot of data accurately, and I don't agree with that anymore at all. 10 guys can say they're Christian. What the heck does that mean, right? You only by their actions, their energy, you'll know. So anyways, when we would talk, when I would text him, my coach was always like, you're always going to reply out of a good and pure, love-free heart space. You're having fun. And yeah, there were definitely like feminine little tips and tricks. Like, my coach even had me go and YouTube a bajillion videos about, how do you flirt? How do you show up? What's sexy? I'm not saying sexual, but just like, right? I'm like, I'm not trying to attract this little boy. Like, I'm trying to, like, I want to be a woman for myself. I want to feel confident. And so just even listening to different videos and channeling what that energy looks like. And by the way, a tip, I've seen girls do this. I totally don't think it's a good idea. When they start to go super professional in interview mode when they're still texting a new guy. And so, for instance, like, I was taught by my coach in all these videos, be open. Like, if he says, hey, how's your day? You don't just say good. You don't just say I went to work. You don't say I was busy. Okay, that's lame, that's dry, and that's, I don't understand how, imagine yourself being a guy and that's how a woman is talking to you. Lame. And I would say things like, I wouldn't fake it. I would tap into my heart and be like, you know what, today was amazing. Like, I loved being able to see a friend that I haven't seen in a while, and I caught up with her, and then on the way home, like, I don't know, I just saw the most beautiful sunset, and I stopped by and I pulled over and I listened to some music in my car. Like, I don't know, like, things like that gives you a little bit more juice in life, right? And then you leave it at that. And a guy who's willing will be like, oh yeah, like, tell me more about your friend. Oh, where'd you guys go? Like, where was the sunset? Oh, I love Montana. Montana's known as Big Sky Country. Like, you have so much opportunity to, you don't even have to, like, make the conversation go so it doesn't end. Because what if he doesn't find out about me? So I have to string him along. No. No. So anyways, he finally decides very quickly, like, let's meet. And this was a very interesting part. He said, let's meet. And then it was like, I don't know, like a Thursday or something. And he's like asking me to go out on a weekend with him. And then the funniest thing happened. After I said, sure, that'd be really fun, he disappeared for 3 days. I don't even know if he remembers. I don't know what was going on. Oh my goodness, was my little test all of a sudden exposed. I had to really watch my energy, because part of me is like, is he texted me back? Is he gonna see me? Okay, wait, I didn't even want to see him. I wasn't even serious about this. I'm not meeting my husband. Okay, wait, I'm not taking this seriously. Why am I panicking? Like, I started to hear all these voices come up within me. Oh my gosh, he just ghosted me. Is this another guy? Oh, you know what? Even if he does reply, I'm not gonna say it. You know, all this stuff started to come up. And I was like, what are you doing? I have to keep checking my energy. Like, what are you doing? Is this an agenda? You have an agenda, Yelena? I thought you were going into this very pure and free, right? Did you already get hung up in the 2 weeks that maybe, you know, something's gonna happen? Like, I just had to, I had to be very real with myself. And every time, lay it down and take a deep breath. And like, when our nervous system goes into panic mode, ladies, I've taught you, like, take your breaths, ground yourself, do something that's gonna be good. Is there an anxiety that you actually need to sit and process through? Do that. If you need to actually go and distract yourself in a good way so you're not ruminating over something, do that. Do your thing so you can come back to a place of peace and presence. And so in the next couple of days, I went from like the anxiety to like, no, I need to let go, like all these different waves. And it was like, Elena, you're torturing yourself again. What's yours is yours. Take a deep breath. If it's not meant to be, he's out of your life, and you're done. And you didn't have to get involved. You didn't even have to see him to even get more attached. Awesome. Maybe it's just not meant to be. It's okay. And funny, 3 days later, actually, now that I think about it, he didn't reply for 3 days. And it was so funny because even after our first date, what's this all about? Ladies, help me decode this. After I went on a first date with him, and then I checked out, and then I didn't reply for 3 days. Look at that. How interesting, huh? Anyways, but when he finally replied, he's like, oh yes, okay. Like, I guess I was kind of starting to like be like, well, is he gonna take me out? It's almost the weekend. I can't know the day of. Do I just agree and abandon everything the day of he texts me? And the answer was no. And so anyways, when he texts back, then he invites me for the next weekend out for lunch. And when I just saw, oh, my notification, Tanner texted me back, I was like, who does he think he is? Stop, Elena. You don't know what's going on in his life. You don't know. You don't need to attribute anything. Do you want to go on the date or not? You know, and he offered to go to this nice little cute place, this cafe. Everything he had done, he had thought through. And I said, you know what, why not? And so, you know, I later on asked him, like, why did you disappear? Like, way later. Honestly, I don't even remember. I don't know if he forgot. I don't know. Like, men are different. I don't know what happened. I think he had some really long days at work and he was exhausted. He would just kind of pass out. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But my point is, ladies, throughout that whole time with him, you know, especially when we're like, it gets to us, right? Are we going to get married? Are we not? Am I just going to be dating around? Just, are you sure he knows that in my culture we get married? You know, like, of course, things like that would come up. And so instead of me stressing out, like, my job as the feminine was to communicate, hey, marriage is important for me. I dream of a family. I want to be able to feel secure and be with, you know, one man and bring children in that context of marriage. So, like, he had already known the things that were important to me because I expressed them. I didn't demand them. I didn't say, you're going to marry me. We're not doing none of that. That's so unattractive. And how, the energy that you come in, whether you're demanding him to pay attention or marry you or whatever, then that's going to be the same energy. You're going to have to continue to try to sustain this energy versus pull back hard and then live out of that freedom. And so I even had friends, and I even had single, like, some distance friends. I don't know if I'd call them a friend, actually. But, like, one girl was like, you guys have been dating for 9 months. And she's, like, single and even older than me. She's like, what do you mean you don't know if you're getting married? Isn't this a conversation you should have? You should already know. You should be talking about him. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, okay, this is not... Like, I had to, like, stop myself from letting other people's fears and issues and anxieties flood into me because that was not going to be in my vessel. And basically, when I did even bring up anything to him, like, out of concern, I said one time, like, some girls just kind of stressed me out. I'm sorry. Like, I lost my balance. I feel like it's like when you're standing on a foot and someone kind of kicks you from behind and you lose your balance. It's like, I don't know, like, Tanner, I'm sorry. Like, I trust us. But, like, man, these voices started to flood me. You know, I was just expressing to him, like, I don't need you to tell me you're going to marry me tomorrow, but, like, help me a little bit. And I remember he talked with me and he laughed a little that these girls were even in their own womanly, panicky ways talking to me. And he still texted me even after that and was like, I have been set on you since the day I met you. I want to have life unfold naturally for us, and right now we are in the season of dating, and when it will be time to move forward to the next season, we will know. And you know what, like, that made me feel actually good because I didn't want him to be like, yep, December 13th we're gonna be engaged. I don't need these like numerical timelines. I want to have a guy who's in leadership over my life because I'm gonna have to submit to him later if he's my husband if I choose. And can I trust him how he guides my life, how he makes decision for our family when things make sense? Can I trust his discernment in terms of seasons, what season we're in and what makes sense and what's pressured, what's natural? That's the type of man I submitted myself under. And that's the man I still see myself. How he operated, ladies, when he's dating is how he's gonna somewhat operate, you know, later on in terms of like his leadership. Doesn't mean he's not gonna develop or mature. But if I married a guy who was all about like some of these like religious places, bad or good, not for me to judge. Okay, engaged for 6 months, okay, and or dating for 6 months, engaged for 3 months, okay, now married, okay, now 1.5 years before this and that and that. That's not the man I chose. Okay, I didn't choose that. So all that to say, ladies, you have to constantly look at your energy. Anytime I wanted to text back or not text back, pick up the phone or not. I see, like the way my coach said, whatever you're putting out, you will attract. And so really, really, really work on your energy. And we're all human. I've had times where sometimes I'm like, do I want to text back right now? Do I want to hold back? Do I want to pick up the phone right now? I am just so frustrated about something else. And it's like, listen, I have one lifetime to live. I want to do everything I can to have union. This kingdom marriage stuff that, you know, a lot of us have been so obsessed with, myself for sure. That's what it is. In my moment to moment interaction, am I open? Can I be vulnerable? Can I ask for help? Can I express myself and have fun? Can he feel me? Because remember I said, can if a man feel you, can he feel you feeling myself, right? In my heart and my energy. And I'm constantly checking my energy. What else do I have to do? How do I shift so I could see him as a man? And when I see him as a man, I can respect him as a man and then relate to him in that dynamic, not as a little boy or not as a grandpa or not some immature whatever. So hopefully this sheds some light. Track your energy. I don't care if you're not dating even yet, just how you relate to guys in general. Girls, watch your energy. Or you are dating, or you're married. Constantly. Okay, what's your tone of voice? Because remember, men, we can blame men all we want, but men are the responders, okay? We bring in the energy and the tone, and they respond. Which means you don't like how he's responding. Well, then what is he responding to? Change that, change what you're bringing, and it's going to go back to that energy. You can say the same thing, like the same sentence. Okay, one last example. Like, let's say you guys are disagreeing about something and you're just like, let's say it's finances, and you're just like, hey, I think we should like maybe double check our like budget or something, right? It's all about your tone. If you're coming from like a place where it's like, hey honey, I'm like getting a little bit nervous, I've been checking my bank account a lot, like can we maybe look into our budget, or what do you think we could do so that I don't feel kind of like nervous and like the unknown of like our finances is coming up? Can we sit down and do this together? That would really help me relieve the stress. That's different than, hey, we need to sit down and budget. Are you even tracking what you're doing and you're spending on? What is this? What's that? I didn't buy this. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, drop into your heart. What is it that you're looking for? Security, safety, right? Okay, ladies, I want you to reflect your homework throughout your whole day. How you talk to him, how you look at him. Men, life, I don't care. How you respond. When you're picking up the phone, or even to call him. Is it coming from a place of like, I'm needy, reassure me, remind me you love me because I don't trust you? Or what? Like, sit with those energies, and it's like, it's okay, like you'll figure it out. You're gonna continue to clean stuff up. I'm just saying, come from a place of awareness, and then you decide. You want to make his lunch because you have to, because he's a baby? If that's your attitude, honestly, don't even make it. That's my opinion. That's actually my opinion. Or put it down, go fix your attitude, saying this with love. Go change your energy, go have that conversation, do what you need to do so that by the time you go and make that meal or whatever, it's out of devotion. And I don't care if it's meal, I don't care if we're cleaning up. See, it doesn't matter all these outside stuff. It's like what's coming from the heart. And that's exactly how we serve God. I don't think God needs you to go to church for him. I don't think God needs you to like make a little sandwich for God. I don't think God needs you to do anything really. I think God really just kind of cares about your heart and your devotion and how sincere and pure and present and aware you are. Amen. Let's talk later.